Welcome back to Cocktails and Classics. I'm Dylan. Joining me this week are Ben and Zach.
Hi.
And we're doing Hocus Pocus, a 1993 Kenny Ortega directed spooky family comedy film, I guess. It's not horror or anything. It's like a
No.
family Halloween movie, I'd say.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. This, like I said, I remember this movie being on ABC. This is the ABC Family. Like, what's the channel that plays the Christmas Story for like 24 hours on Christmas Day? Is that also ABC Family?
No, it's like TNT
Okay.
or something.
Yeah,
It's one of the Turners.
this was ABC Family's version of that, where it's just like we're gonna play Hocus Pocus on a loop for 24 hours and let our programming guys just go home tonight.
Yeah, ABC Family only plays Hocus Pocus or it's a Harry Potter weekend.
Well, that's USA now.
Oh, whoops.
Ooh.
Yeah. Or sci-fi, or just any of those. Yeah. To kick things off and get everything in the right mood, we're gonna go to this week's cocktail, the apple dumpling, because those rich folks, they're gonna make you drink cider and bob for apples. See, we tie it into the movies sometimes.
Hell yeah.
Ooh.
To make an apple dumpling, it's 2 ounces of hard apple cider, 1.5 ounces of Woodward Reserve bourbon. I'm sure you could substitute that like I did. 1/2 ounce of simple syrup and a dash Peychaud's bitters. Stir that all together. They said shake, actually. Interesting. And this comes from the Ballantine in Charlotte. Found it on some other website, Town and Country magazine or something. I don't know. But I randled it. I didn't have like plain hard cider, and the only cider I have in the house is this Rainbow Seeker pineapple hard cider from Blake's. So
pineapple hard cider.
So instead of it tasting
Yeah.
like fall, it tastes like weirdly summery.
tastes a lot like bourbon, actually.
Yeah, something I'll say is Woodford Reserve has a distinct flavor. It's not very harsh.
Oh.
It's very mellow. It's kind of sweet. Great for cocktails.
See, I'm in the infantile stages of starting to get into bourbon a little bit. So I'm like, I know I like Larceny. I know I like Elijah Craig. If it falls in that range, we're good in a drink. But
Yeah, I try to always have Woodford Reserve around. It's just great for cocktails. For just like, if you just want something light to sip on, that's perfect.
I will say, even with the pineapple, it doesn't taste bad. It's almost like an old fashioned, just lengthened slightly. There's like one more element to it. Because what's an old fashioned? 2 ounces of bourbon, a little simple
And bitters?
bitters, right? Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah. It's
it's like a softened.
it's meant to just be it's a fall old fashioned.
Yeah.
You know, or if you're Dylan, it's a summer old fashioned, I guess.
Tropical. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
transporting me
No.
to the islands of
This is like-
Michigan.
It's like a drink you make that, you're outside, it's chilly, you got your hoodie and some jeans on, you're passing out candy to the neighborhood kids.
You're dressed up as Satan, and 3 witches come to your door, and you start
That
dancing
was
with
so
them.
weird.
Yeah, it was uncomfortable for everyone.
Check the show notes below. Make yourself an apple dumpling. Hit up the Drizzly and Casker links so you can get the alcohol delivered directly to your door. Get some Woodford Reserve. Zach says it's very particular taste, so
And you
probably
can get
makes
it
a big
everywhere.
difference.
Highly available.
Especially through Drizzly and Casker, like Dylan said.
Yep.
You go from there, you help us out a little bit.
You can check out Hocus Pocus. I think it's on Disney Plus.
It's on Disney Plus. It's a Disney
And-
movie. I didn't realize that, but it makes sense.
It's not like I think it does be like it's Disney. It's Hocus Pocus, but they don't like slap that.
They don't slap it, but when you turning it on Disney Plus, and I don't know if Disney Plus just does this, but
No,
it
it
clearly
has
has
the-
like the Disney logo in that
the
at
logo,
the beginning of
the
it.
entrance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I watched it because I bought it because my wife was part of the main reason we did this because she loves this movie and is like, you got to do it, you got to do it. So we own it, and yeah, it does have the Disney logo, and it looks like on IMDb the poster does have
The
Walt Disney
Disney.
pictures on the top.
Okay.
So check it out because we're about to talk about it, and if you haven't seen it, what are you waiting for? It's almost 30 years old now.
Yeah, coming up.
The second one's coming out soon.
next year,
next year.
apparently.
I think
Which
all the witches
they've-
are back, and
That's the only
We don't
cast
know.
they have announced on IMDb. Just the Sanderson Sisters.
Hocus Pocus is a 1993 family comedy fantasy film. It's the story of a curious youngster who moves to Salem from California, where he struggles to fit in before awakening a trio of diabolical witches that were executed in the 17th century. Currently sits at a 6.9 out of 10 on IMDb. It's directed by Kenny Ortega of High School Musical fame. It's written by David Kirshner, Mick Garris, and the screenplay was written by Neil Cuthbert. Stars Bette Midler, Sarah Jessica Parker, Kathy Najimy.
Kathy Najimy, yeah. Fun fact, was the voice of Peggy Hill in King of the Hill.
Wow,
Oh, okay.
really?
The more you know. Welcome to my life. Everything's just a little puzzle piece that connects to somewhere else down the line in pop culture.
This is one of the things that has just convinced Ben to the 10th degree that we live in a simulation.
Oh, I mean, the signs are there, right? No.
It has our boy from NCIS, the hacker
Yeah.
man, Sean Murray as
McGee.
Thackeray.
He's a hacker, man.
Doug Jones is
yeah.
Billy Butcherson.
Doug Jones. Also, did you guys recognize the voice of Binks the Cat?
No.
Jason
who is
Marsden, who was also the
Oh.
voice of Haku in Spirited Away.
I actually remember that when I was researching trivia for Spirited Away. Now that you mention it, yeah, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, I was sitting there and I'm like, the voice of the cat is definitely not McGee. They do not sound anything alike from the kid that we just saw on the screen like a couple minutes ago. Like, he sounds really familiar though. And then after like the third line of dialogue he has, I'm like, oh no, okay, that's Jason Marsden. He does voice acting for a bunch of stuff. And then I remembered that he did Spirited Away that we had already done on the podcast.
I recognized it was him when he went,
That's not Haku, but yeah, it was kind of weird because like when you look at the credits, you know, it's like, oh, Doug Jones is Billy, but then there's also somebody who is headless Billy because Doug Jones is so tall. So it's like,
Yeah.
oh, when his head's knocked
Yeah.
off, we have to have another actor play someone shorter.
oh.
We have to have another actor who can just wear the thing that's like to cover up to the head. Yeah, trying to describe Doug Jones to people is just, I'm always just like, you know, the guy who's like the freakishly tall monster in like every movie, that's just always Doug Jones. Someone, Forrest was like, oh, Guillermo del Toro must love him. And I'm like, he's actually in like a majority of shit
Every Guillermo del Toro movie? Yes.
Say, he does love him. He's in like everything. Every time Guillermo del Toro is about to do a movie, he gives Doug a call. What are you up to?
Literally pays all of his bills, I'm sure.
Oh, I
Guillermo
believe
calls,
it.
hey, I'm doing this movie. We need an amphibian man to date this woman. I got you.
Tie into last week, Doug Jones played the Baron in What We Do in the Shadows, the TV show.
Yes, I do remember that. Also tie into last week. Lots of talks about Virgin in this movie.
Yeah, big Virgin
Oh my
City
God.
in this.
Dude, they just beta that kid.
Roasted.
Just constantly. Every freaking time, it's just like, yeah, my brother's a virgin and he lit a candle. It's just like, every time they have the chance to bring it up, they're just like, hey, virgin, way to light it.
I was gonna say this, that the cat effects looked a lot like Sabrina the Teenage Witch. And just scrolling down on IMDb, literally the first thing that pops up on the trivia section, on the like, did you know section, is like, the animatronic cat would later be used for Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I was like, wow, okay. Because like, it's got that so like 90s.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
you
a
can tell
cat's
this
a
isn't
cat.
an actual cat.
Like a black cat is a black cat. But that looks exactly like the cat from
Yeah.
Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
What's his name in Sabrina? I can't think.
Oh my God. It's like something old. Is it like Sebastian or something?
I was going to say Sebastian, but I wasn't sure if it was right. But now that you've said it, I feel like I can get behind that.
Salem?
Or it's not.
Oh, was it Salem?
Oh, it might
No,
be.
maybe not.
Yeah, it was. Salem Saberhagen.
Salem.
I had seen this. Had you, Zach?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you had Ben's the only one who hasn't seen it.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen it all the way through. I've seen like bits and pieces. Like I remembered as a kid, I know I definitely seen the "I Put a Spell on You" scene, like when they are at the band and that. To be honest, watching the movie, that was like the main thing that I remembered. Other than I think maybe the guy getting on the motorcycle and telling his girlfriend that they think
That
he
I'm
was
not
a real
actually
cop.
a cop.
Yeah,
So you're a virgin? Are you really a virgin? Jesus,
Yeah.
bud. It's a Disney movie. Leave him alone.
I was shocked with how
This
many
movie's
times
horny
they.
for a Disney movie.
Yeah, exactly. I was surprised.
I didn't realize. I always thought the blonde witch, Sarah Jessica Parker's witch, was just dumb. I didn't realize until watching it today. She's just a horn dog. She's out there
Yeah.
trying to like
Well,
bang everything.
And it's not even just her. It's like when the bus driver pulls up and he's like, I could take you to your deepest desires. We desire kids. It'll take me a few tries, but I'll get you there.
Yeah,
Oh,
she's
God,
just sitting
come
on
on.
his lap, bouncing up and down. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
my god.
No, that bus driver, this was the only movie he ever made, but he didn't even care about the money. He was just happy to be there.
She was
That,
about to ruin Max's virginity.
He definitely could have lit the candle and been completely fine.
The part where Max and Danny go into Allison's house, and she's like, "Oh, I could never wear anything like that. I don't have any yabos. Max likes your yabos. He likes them a lot." I was like,
Jesus.
"Okay, whoa."
What do you call him, Max? Yabos?
Also, the gratuitous use of the title. It's just a bunch of hocus pocus.
Hocus Pocus.
He said it. He said the thing.
I know, I kept waiting for him to just kind of like turn
Turn
just
to the-
straight on dead-eye the camera.
Well, and then I think it's Winnie says it later, like mockingly
Yeah.
to him, like, "Oh, it's just a bunch of hocus pocus."
Hocus Pocus. Yeah, let's go ahead and spike the camera there and then give us a nice wink.
Look slightly to the side of the lens, and we'll act like it wasn't just a total fourth wall break.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're waiting for the Back to the Future, like
So Ben had seen just like the band playing at the Halloween ball, whatever. It got me thinking. Did you guys ever watch movies and like fast forward, rewind just to hear some of the bangers they used to put in the middle of them? I feel like there are like Back to the Future. You might rewind the part where Michael J. Fox gets up on stage and invents rock music, right?
I thought you were gonna say Power of Love, but or are you saying like the music that is like performed in the movie?
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah, or
oh,
even
okay.
just like a banger in a movie. I used to rewind American Pie just to hear. Oh my god, what's the name of that song?
The Blink-182 one, or
No, not the Blink-182 one. I'm not gonna be able to think of the name of it. It's super explicit. But another example is like Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire when they're at the Goblin Ball. Rewound that shit constantly. That was a banger.
oh, God, what is? I forget how it goes. It's like dance like a hippogriff or something.
Yeah, it's just all mad. It's just
Ma.
as much magical shit as they could say. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, if you're a hobgoblin, I'm like, yeah, I'm a hobgoblin.
Zach would definitely buy that band's merch online.
They are on if you get the or if you look at the official soundtrack on Spotify, they are on there. Both of their songs. I guess they have another cut because they do the one where it's like really soft too. I believe. You know how like at the end of the ball when Harry and everyone's like leaving and it's like a slow dance. Yep, that one.
The song I was thinking of is by Matt Nathanson. It's called Laid.
From American Pie.
Yes.
All right. There'll be a link in the show notes below if you want to hear that.
Straight banger.
We mentioned it a second ago. Well, we mentioned the movie being horny, but the Satan scene, it's just like super weird and cringy.
I don't get it at all. This dude invites 3 women into his house. And we get why they're there. They think he's Satan. Why does he invite them in? Why does his wife react the way she does, just sitting on the chair, smoking her cigar or smoking her cigarette and drinking wine? And she just goes upstairs like this is no big deal. She comes back down and he's dancing with the horny witch. There's so much of this scene I just didn't understand.
Bonk. Needed something for the adults.
I mean, there was plenty of that just laced throughout. I don't know. As far as like the sprinkling of adult humor, it was all up in there.
We use the word virgin in every scene.
But not just like to let people know, but we use it in a sense that we're trying to insult this kid.
It was the world's worst foreshadowing.
My wife wrote in my notes, will Peter Pan and Wendy be brought up in the next movie? Because Max signs up to go as Peter Pan and Wendy in tights.
Yeah.
To go on the date, and I'm like, I mean, I don't know if they bring back the same actors. They're going to be
I don't know
40
that they're
years
going
old.
I was gonna say I don't know that they're going to bring back. If anything, let's be honest. This is a Disney movie, and it's a money grab. They're gonna bring the actors back, and the movie's gonna focus on their kids, right?
Something like that. It'll be modern times.
Probably gonna be Max and Allison's. It'll be Max and Allison's kids. They're gonna hear about the story of the Sanderson sisters from Aunt Danny. And we're off to the races. That's all you need. You just get a little bit of that sprinkle of like, ooh, look, here's some nostalgia powder for you.
Yeah, here's the carrot.
And then we're going to sit there and just gobble the shit out of it. And then we'll get right into basically the same fucking movie, but with new kids.
Yeah. Update it for modern times.
Yeah, now there'll be cell phones and shit that, the witches won't understand. It'll be so comical and cheeky and fun.
A book. Be like, you can just look up your book online.
We got this last week too. This flavor of humor where it's I'm out of touch humor. It's I've been asleep for hundreds of years and now all of a sudden there's buses and fire trucks and stuff.
Yeah.
This movie's just so inconsistent with that. Like, there's some scenes like the fire truck one after the Max sets off the sprinklers. And they show up and they're like terrified of the asphalt, they're terrified of the fire truck. But then there's other scenes when Winifred catches up to Max driving and is like, oh, pull over, let me see your driving permit. Like, how did we figure all that out so quickly?
Not just that, but they weren't amazed at what the hell was going on when they got on stage and started singing into microphones.
Yeah.
With a band.
Microphones,
with a
the
band
lights.
playing electric music.
That's a good point.
They're just like bards, okay?
The problem is you've poked one small hole into a kids movie, and now you've exposed everything.
I feel like that's what you have to do with this movie and movies like it. It's like you either take it for what it is and you just relax and enjoy it, because it's an enjoyable movie, or you make the mistake of looking at it too closely and you see like all of the flaws in it. Like there are scenes where you can just see wires holding the brooms up. Like when they're first in the graveyard, you can just see the wires holding up Winifred's broom.
Or like the physics of how they like fly around. Like at the end in the graveyard when they grab the like vacuum.
Oh, that was so
And then like
horrible.
Sarah Jessica Parker is like
grabs the other witch, grabs Mary's hand and is pulling backwards. That end graveyard scene was the worst for me because everybody's having this massive struggle. And then it'll be like, Sarah, help! And Sarah's broom slowly slides over to the side and helps.
Or the fact that Max losing his life force was just him weirdly glowing.
Well, you gotta suck out the life force. Like he doesn't
they
like
went full
lose it.
Dementor.
Does it?
But instead of it just like being sucked out, it was just surrounding him like some sort of aura. Some sort of
well, that's how you know it's
chakra.
suckable.
Oh, that's
You can't just go sucking anything. It's got to be glowing.
It's got to
before
present
you,
itself.
Yeah, the soul, not you know.
Not anything
well,
else.
we know
Max is
it
still a
wasn't
virgin.
anything else. Max is a virgin. Yeah, exactly.
I do like the setting though. I enjoy. I've been to Salem before, and I really enjoy like the creepy, spooky vibe of it. I guess I don't know, but it is very touristy. Wasn't like October, but it was still like, come over here to the witch house. Come over here to this house. Come over here to the Satanism museum. Like, okay.
Then you followed Satan inside and you danced with him and the lights
Yeah.
off in the living room.
He starts to try and take your clothes off. Your thighs get exposed. Yeah.
His wife comes down and asks you to leave.
Tried to bribe you with a king-size candy bar.
It's a finger from a person named Clark. Yeah, I looked at the parents' guide, and that was like sex and nudity, mild. In the scene where the witch dances with the devil, the second time she is shown with her dress pulled up quite high, showing her thighs. She also removed her boots, thus implying a subtle hint at undressing.
Subtle?
Max, Max and Allison sleep by each other under the stairs in the bedroom. Ooh, watch out!
How dare they? Watch out, Max is trying to make sure he can light that candle later. No black flame. Can we just say that, like, I love the fact that Thackeray's last line is also just there to completely burn Max? Where his sister's like, "What took you so long?" And he's like, "I'm sorry, I had to wait 300 years for a virgin to light a candle." just
One last time.
Yep.
We just got to get the joke
Yep.
in once more.
Yep.
Guys.
Let me just make sure we roast Max one more time.
At what age did you learn what a virgin was? Because I was one of those kids growing up that was like, oh, virgin, that must be somebody from Virginia. Like,
I don't-
these
I don't-
7-year-olds just know what virgins are?
Yeah, I'm
What
not
kind
gonna
of town
lie.
is this?
She was 8, I think, but
Okay.
I don't know what year I would have known what it meant, but to watch this movie, like, you'd expect kids probably like 6 up are watching this movie, and yeah, 100% it's just like, now we have to awkwardly explain to kids what a virgin is. Way to go, Disney. You really, really, really saved us with this one. Let's put on some family-friendly entertainment for some kids. Mom, what's a virgin? All right, go to your room.
Dad, what are yabos?
I don't know why, but I do enjoy Ice and whatever the other crony's name is.
Did Jay?
Yeah, Jay and
Jay
Ice.
and Eddie?
Ernie.
Sorry, Ernie. Ernie?
It's,
I love
it's
they're
not
just-
Ernie anymore.
Dude, I told
They're
you it's
stupid.
Ice now.
Hollywood. Are those the new cross trainers?
Let me
Like-
try them on.
Like those guys have a like very thick like California-esque accent to them,
they
whether
do.
even though
They
they're like
do.
making fun of him.
So bad. Oh, you don't have you don't have cigarettes, you don't have cash. What are we supposed to do all afternoon?
Learn how to breathe through your nose.
That's one that I caught this time that I didn't catch the first time. I just recently learned
the
what a
mouth breather?
is.
The fact that he
Yeah.
called him a mouth breather? Yeah.
Is that the first instance? I don't know. That's a pretty early.
It felt
pretty
real
early.
early. I didn't know what it was until, I mean, I can't remember the last time I saw this movie. Probably a Halloween a couple years ago, but never caught that line. Like, wow, mouth breather. That was an old school insult, I guess.
Just some of the like dialogue is so goofy. Like it's not like good, but it just cracks me up.
Oh, some of it's
The
horrible.
bus driver, bubble, I'm in trouble. The, the dad, where he's like, I'm dead, Jula. Who must
one
this?
that was good.
Who's this charming blood donor? It's like
The dad's one of the best side characters.
they're just laying on the dad jokes. Like,
Yeah.
come on.
What does he say
Oh,
when
how
they
about
first
I've
come
always
inside?
wanted a child and now I'll think I'll have one on toast?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The worst bit of dialogue is when Allison is like, wait, I figured it out. We just need the sun to come up. And Max was like, oh, brother, that'll never happen. They go to the witch's house, and Max walks in and gives the cheesiest little monologue you've ever heard. And then Allison flips the lights on to the car. It's horrible because the line is so cheesy, but then also the witches fall down as if they've been hurt by sunlight. Everybody gets away, and then the witches are like, "Oh, that actually didn't hurt at all. I'm actually fine."
Well, it was the same with the sprinkler system. Oh, it's
Yeah.
acid
Great,
rain.
powerful
and then
Max.
they move around for so freaking long, and then they go, it's just water.
He says something like, that's there's power greater than your magic, and that's knowledge.
Yeah,
And
knowledge.
I know about daylight savings time.
Oh, God.
Yeah, guys, I don't think witches can get wet.
I there's something about that, I think.
The Wizard of Oz established that.
Oh, man.
Yeah, but like I don't think it's like
I don't want to
Which-
get in. I don't want to get into witches the way we got into time travel. We don't have time for this.
I don't know if it's in the mythos. I think it's not canon. It's
Disney cut that along with 90% of the Star Wars content. Got it.
Hocus Pocus 2 is just going to retcon everything that they established in Hocus Pocus 1. Oh, the Sanderson Sisters are back. I don't know how, but they're here.
Oh.
Sarah Jessica Parker's back, and she's hornier in Hocus Pocus 2.
She's out of the city, and now she's back in Salem.
70-year-old Doug Jones returns as Billy Butcher.
That's my thing. Like, how old is Bette Midler now? I feel like she's got to be getting up there. 45. 1945 was when she was born.
Whoa.
So she's 77? 70? No.
76.
Gonna be 77 when it comes out?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't
All
realize
right.
how old Doug Jones was.
How old is he? Is he actually gonna be like in his 60s or 70s?
He was born in 1960. So he's
Wow.
going to be 62.
Dang.
Yeah.
We're gonna hit up some ads. We're gonna come back. We're gonna do some trivia. You know we love saving the turts. You know Cam hates fucking paper straws.
Paper straws song.
Sock.
I will say that paper straw technology has improved since I last shat on paper straws. I have used a couple since I've been able to go out more recently due to being vaccinated, and
That's what they were doing the whole time while we were inside. They were just inventing better paper straws.
I have seen also not paper straws, but it seems like they're compostable plastic straws or something. Like
You're talking about the
like,
ones
they
that
feel
are made out of
different.
like agave or whatever.
I have no idea what the composition of these straws are. I'm just, but they are different.
I'm not
than
a
the
straw
normal ones you
expert.
see. But you're the expert, Dylan.
But I do know a good glass straw when I see one, you know?
Yes. I will say for being at home and where you know, maybe you like straws in your fruity margaritas or you like straws to mix with your, you know, old fashions or whatever. You know, having these straws around the home is really nice. No, not constantly like throwing things away, or you don't have to keep buying straws all the time. Like you just buy a couple and then you're good.
And if you want cocktail picks or muddlers, they have that too. There's many colors. He's getting into like designs. So like the pride flag, he puts it on like the side of the straw. He's got hearts. He's got critters. It's like you get a piece of art along with a straw. Little multi-use.
Oh yeah, he has critter straws, which have see a dolphin, a salamander. That salamander looks intricate. That is impressive.
Grab some glass straws from Surfside Sips. Use promo code cocktails and classics spelled out for 20% off. We get a little kickback from that, and you get to save some money on some glass straws, and they should last you a long time. Dishwasher safe. They're pretty sturdy. Just don't drop them on the floor like me, like a big idiot. You have to buy more. A little bit of a tradition around here. Zach takes over, puts us through a trivia quiz. Zach, what do you got for us on Hocus Pocus? Don't know why that came out like a question.
Oh, so why was that a question? Yeah, did you have to ask? You've already introed the movie. We've talked about it for 30 minutes, and now it's... Wait, is this what we're doing?
You
we
just
still talking
misplaced
about
the
this?
question mark. That's all. Couple spicy meatballs for you. The first one is the role of Max Dennison was originally offered to what actor? A. Leonardo DiCaprio, B. Emilio Estevez, or C. Ben Affleck. Offered and turned down the role.
That's
This is 93.
yeah.
God, this is...
I think it's not Emilio.
I can't imagine it's Emilio because Ducks was around this time. So there's no way he's playing an adult coaching the Mighty Ducks and also playing a virgin.
Why not both?
I
Emilio
wanted to
was
see what the reaction was.
stacking the women in
Hockey
the Mighty
moms.
Ducks.
Puck bunnies.
Puck bunnies, as they're
Puck
referred.
bunnies. Yep.
in the culture.
Real rocket, bud.
Culture. Don't tell me white people have no culture. um, God, so I'm leaning either Ben or Leo, but
But which?
I'm gonna say Ben. I'm gonna say Ben.
So, all right, I'm gonna just think this one through out loud. What's Eating Gilbert Grape would have been around this time, right?
Yeah, which is
Titanic?
why I don't think Leo.
Titanic would have been like 97, 98. And at that point, Leo was playing a kid who was, I mean, a little bit older, right? He was, or was he around high school age? Was Jack in the Titanic?
I don't know. I mean, he still played a teenager in 2002 when we did.
I mean, that's
Catch
true.
Me If You Can.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
But
kind of
what
why
makes me think is he's actually closer to a teenager.
But for me, what did Ben Affleck do before this?
Before what?
This Hocus Pocus, like before 93.
When was Dazed and Confused?
93.
He was in Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh man,
So he
you
was
might
high
have just stumbled. You might have just stumbled onto something here. Maybe he turned this down to do Dazed and Confused.
Oh,
I'm gonna jump aboard the Ben Affleck train. Batfleck, maybe.
My issue is because I think Leo did Grapes or What's Eating Gilbert Grape? Sorry, not Grapes of Wrath.
Yeah,
I always get those two mixed
But
up.
that was
Too
like-
many grapes, you know.
but that was what, like 95?
Hey, you
Maybe
got me
even a
grapes.
little later than this. Here's the
Would
other
it
thing
help
too is
you-
the fact that no, Leo wasn't. Leo was not a Mickey Mouse Club kid.
You sure?
I don't think he was. I don't.
Or he might not
I
have
know
been.
Ryan Gosling was, and who else was?
He was something
Timberlake
like that,
was.
Timberlake was.
I know he was in some sort of weird. Damn. This is a stumper, Zach. This is well done. I'm also gonna go.
Two
with,
of these are made up.
I think I'm gonna go with Ben Affleck.
Two Ben Afflecks.
though. Yeah.
You guys nailed the logic by the end. You just got the wrong dude. Leo turned down this role to do the Grapes of Wrath.
What's
God
Eating
damn
Gilbert
it.
Grape?
Or What's Eating Gilbert Grape, yeah.
Oh, damn.
Damn. Okay.
The Dazed and Confused got me. I shouldn't have been on it.
That was a really good question because like I feel like Amelia was a little
Amelia's a little
past,
older.
yeah, but like the other two
But I don't know.
weren't really
I
established
don't know
yet,
who else.
so it's like
Yeah.
it could
Probably could have hit like a Chris O'Donnell. Pre Batman Chris O'Donnell might have got me to bite. Trying to think who else was in Brendan Fraser.
While we're talking about O'Donnell's, Rosie O'Donnell was actually offered the role of Mary, the chubbier witch.
Yeah, yeah. As soon as you said Rosie O'Donnell, I figured that was the Kathy Najimy role.
Yep, she turned it down after reading the script because she didn't
Thank
want
God.
to play an ugly, scary witch. This one, you had to have a sharp eye. Max has a poster of what Los Angeles Laker in his bedroom? A. Magic Johnson, B. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, or C. James Worthy.
Oh man, timeline would suggest magic, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
If it helps or hurts, these three guys all played together
Well, yeah,
I know, but
for a long time.
Yes.
not super long.
Not like 20 years, but for basketball
Well, no,
nowadays.
because I mean, when Magic started with the Lakers, Kareem was towards the end of his career.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
the old guy, but they still won.
I mean, they won
Yeah,
2 or 3 titles together. Showtime Lakers. I
Yeah,
know
was trying
Worthy
to
was
think if
there
it
for a
3 or
while.
4.
I think I'm actually gonna go with Worthy.
damn it! I was gonna say that. I was expecting you to go Johnson. So I'll go Magic.
Magic Johnson is correct.
Yeah, thanks,
Damn.
man.
Yep.
I was like, I feel like maybe it's Worthy, and he's just trying to meme us with like the two like the Lakers.
The 2 big names.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, timeline lined up well for Magic. I think Kareem would have been out by 93. But Worthy was like one of those guys that I could have seen just being like the oddball. Like, oh, he needs a sports poster.
These
I
are on
don't know,
discount.
let's go with Worthy.
All right. Dylan is on the board with a point. Question number 3. Which of the 3 witches in the movie, the actress's 10th great-grandmother, was arrested during the Salem witch trials for, quote, sundry acts of witchcraft? A. Bette Midler, B. Sarah Jessica Parker, or C. Kathy Najimy?
Najimy makes me want to be like, weird last name. Definitely a witch.
Probably in Massachusetts, yeah. People
Yeah.
with weird last names are not to be trusted, is what we learned in American schools growing up.
I'm gonna let that just go by, and hope it makes the final cut. But I'm just gonna not comment.
It's a comment on the American education system. We live in a society.
Well, I'm just saying, like, this is the 1700s or whatever, 1800s. I forget when the Salem witch trials was. It no 16?
Wow, that should have been a trivia question.
1692 or something.
1639.
Wait, what?
93. 1693.
1693. Okay, so I was close with my 92. But
That's when these witches.
You said
come from, at
17,
least.
1800s to start.
yeah, but then I landed on 1692.
Like, Dylan's like, yeah, they were burning bitches during the American Revolution.
USA, USA.
Fire weapons weren't banned until the Geneva Convention, so
They still use them.
we had flamethrowers in World War II.
Flamethrowering a woman.
Witch.
Witch.
Tied to a stake. It's like,
No,
admit
guys,
you're
it's
a
okay.
witch.
She's a witch.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Kathy Najimy.
I'm gonna go with Sarah Jessica Parker.
It is Sarah Jessica Parker. 10th great-grandmother.
Did I have a reason? No. Nope. I had no idea. Shot in the dark.
Kind of a wild bit of trivia there. All right, a tiebreaker. Stick with me for this one. The stitches that keep Billy's mouth sewn shut are in the shape of what Roman numeral? Closest without going over.
It's okay.
Can I look up what Roman numerals mean?
No. Testing
I don't want to
your-
look up a picture of him, but I literally know shit
Well, that
about
would be
Roman
cheating.
numerals.
Oh, you could have the photo and not be able to decode it.
Literally, you could show me the photo and I would be like, I don't know, 7? Like, I would have no fucking idea.
What Super Bowl are they on?
I think the last one was, 50? And it was just the letter, or the numbers, 50. They didn't Roman numeral it. So I'm completely lost.
They did. It's a V.
It's a V.
That was in the background of the ad.
There's like an L. There's a V. Yeah, no,
There's X's. There's I's or ones or whatever.
But wait, a V is a 5 and 50?
no. He's no. I think it's like
No, they did.
an
They
it's
did
an
like
L.
V0.
No, it's like an L
Oh.
and something. Because there's a way. I think there's a way you write it, and it's like subtraction too. I don't know. We're way beyond our knowledge base here, but I think there's a way to be like, oh, it's like 100 minus something, and it's like it's kind of like
what side the letters are on.
yeah, like a 6 and 7 or whatever. It just depends on which
If they're
side
to the right, you add them. If they're to the left, you
Yes.
subtract.
Okay, I get that.
All
All right.
Just put it all together, Ben.
50.
Just know what the letters translate
I'm gonna
to.
say 50.
I'm going to say 14. XIV.
All right, well, you both went over. But Ben was correct that XIV is 14. Shout
Yeah.
out to Ben.
Guys, I'm learning.
He knows.
I-
He knows things.
I math good.
I feel like I have to give it to Ben, though.
Yeah, go
Because the
ahead.
answer is 13.
Oh wow. Okay. Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nope. I'm
It
going to
was
take that.
an X and 3 lines.
Oh,
Oh man.
shit. So I just thought the line was just too slanted.
Yeah.
There's my problem. I just misremembered
I was watching the movie with
slant.
my head cocked to the side the whole time.
Yeah. Yep. I was in a recliner the whole time, and it just really threw my depth perception off.
I was
Also,
just like
completely
maybe
learned
it's all
Roman numerals in the last 45 seconds.
Yeah. I was to say. So here's the thing. I could tell you X is 10, and then the like V, like all of that. Like that, I know. It's once you start getting into like fucking 20s and higher numbers, we got rid of that system We use
for a reason.
We use freedom. We use freedom digits now.
All
I
right,
think everyone in the world uses our numerical system. So
the symbols are I, V, X, L, C, D, and M, and they stand for 1, 5, 10, 50, 100, 500, and 1,000.
all right, I'll forget that as soon as we stop recording.
Yep, I've already forgotten it.
Simple rule.
I learned Roman numerals and forgot them in the same 3-minute segment.
You should only ever retain the useful information, There's too much stuff to know.
Yeah, and I already know that Doug Jones was in a bunch of stuff, and that Jason Marsden was a voice of Binks and Haku from Spirited Away, and that Kathy Najimy was on King of the Hill. So there's no room
Jessica
for
Parker's
shit.
10th great grandmother was a.
Well, I didn't know that. That was just a shot in the dark.
She didn't know that either. She learned that during filming. She took an ancestry test.
Good old 23andMe.
Yep, 1993 23andMe. They probably just collected everybody's blood, turned it into drugs or something, and then just mailed you back a letter that said, yep, your dad's grandfather is Morgan Freeman. Here you go.
Oh. Well, congrats,
They donated the blood for plasma for drug money.
What?
Zach, you just said they turned their blood into drugs. I'm at least trying to make some sense of what the fuck you said.
No, that's what they do. They take their blood and they turn it into drugs.
Zach and I had seen this movie before. Ben has not. So Zach and I will give you a little nostalgia rating. Then we'll update it. Ben gives you that fresh one.
Oh, well, you literally just said Zach and I will give you a nostalgia rating, and then Ben will give you a fresh one, which leads me to think I'm not going first.
You'll go first. You
threw me off. You've thrown off the format of this entire show. Sorry, guys. I'm still trying to wrap my head around Roman numerals here. So going into this, I remember this, like I said, I remember this movie being on all the time. I just never really watched it. I think it's, for what it is, it's a fun kids Halloween movie, right? I mean, it's just kind of a way to get kids kind of into Halloween movies and kind of give them kind of a fun Halloween versus the scary, spooky Halloween that adults normally prefer. I enjoyed it. It's weird because I know this movie less so from the actual movie and more from the fact that it's like a cultural thing, especially with people our age. That's definitely kind of a big thing. Like, I know a lot of people, like millennials and that, like to dress up as the Sanderson Sisters for Halloween. So that's kind of a big thing. Overall, I thought the movie was okay. It was a 90s kids movie. My expectations were kind of meh, and they were satisfactory met, I guess. I don't know how better to describe it. Like, it met what I expected. I gave it like a 5. It's not great. I think it's something that if you have kids, it's a great thing to kind of do as a family. It's a great movie to watch for them. If you're an adult and you haven't seen this movie, I feel like you should probably check it out, just because that way if anyone makes references around Halloween time that you don't understand, this might be it. This might explain some things.
Ben, have you seen Halloween Town?
Yes.
Halloween Town or Hocus Pocus?
It's been a while since I've seen Halloween Town, so I feel like I need to give it a fresh rewatch before I can answer that.
I'm a Halloween Town guy myself.
Ooh.
From what I remember, I feel like I Debbie Reynolds, that's a plus. So
yeah, but Bette Midler.
Yeah, that's true. You could listen to Bette Midler sing.
That's true. Fair point. But I'm surprised you like that, because musicals are things you hate.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this movie a big IV. It's a kids movie. It's a Disney movie. I said it earlier, but you can take it for what it is and enjoy it. But if you start to look at this thing, it's not good. There's production issues, CGI problems, especially today, like at the end when the witches blow up. The CGI is so bad, it looks like it was done in like Windows Movie Maker and like an XP machine or something.
I thought you were gonna give a date. I was gonna be like, it looks like it was done in '93.
I mean, it doesn't look good for 93 though. Like, it looks cheap. Dialogue and
Well,
stuff.
they put
it's
their
super-
budget into getting the witches, right?
Yeah.
CG wasn't big then. Like Jurassic Park did CG in '94, and it was like, what the fuck? They put a dinosaur in there. So it's like,
But
it
the
was
explosion was just rough. Hard cut to a digital firecracker going off. I don't know. There's a bunch of scenes, like they blow up the top of a house. Looks great. But the next scene is a cut to Allison on the floor, everything destroyed, and she's disoriented. Like, you cut out the part where, one, Allison didn't die somehow, but like you clearly cut the corner of not doing the expensive explosion scene. There's a lot of stuff like that. Wires hanging from broomsticks. But it can be fun. Just kind of watch it through one eye, I guess.
going in. I had this at a 6 out of 10, and I'm gonna leave it at that. I think it's fun. I hadn't seen this movie before I met my wife, and she was like, "You haven't seen Hocus Pocus?" She would give this a 10. I am not on that boat. It's fun. It's a kids' Halloween movie. It's not meant to be spooky. It's family friendly for the most part. Pretty horny movie.
Yeah, real horny.
I know you guys were talking about Halloween Town and Hocus Pocus. I'd put them in the same boat. They're both just kind of fun, lighthearted. They both kind of have their like, ooh, something bad is going to happen, and will they make it out? Of course they will, because it's it's Disney.
It was nice that Disney gave kids movies to watch at Halloween that weren't all slasher movies.
True. It's all right. I don't know. I don't have too much to like say as far as like critiquing it. And if you enjoyed this, don't forget to rate and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram at Cocktails and Classics Pod. Hit the Caskers and Drizzly links below. Make yourself an apple dumpling. Check us out next week as we do the Blair Witch Project.
Ooh.
And you can keep an eye peeled for the 31st. Got a little something coming your way.
Oh man. Prepare for your Halloween
I'm so
trick.
excited. I'm so excited.
I was thinking the other day, I was like, I don't even remember what happens in this movie.
I remember
there's a
all
lot.
of it. It's burned. It's
Really?
burned
Like
into
I remember,
my mind.
I remember Steve
Ben
Buscemi
used
is
to know
like
Roman numerals, but he replaced that knowledge part with this.
Unfortunately, it burned too many brain cells, and I don't remember.
like I remember Steve Buscemi was like a werewolf, and that something
mom.
happens and Adam
The mom's
Sandler's getting blamed
t-shirts.
for it. I remember the T-shirts.
Yeah, the mom's t-shirts.
Boner donor.
Donor.
Is it bad that that's like all I thought about when the dad was like, "Oh, we have a nice young blood donor," and I was like, "Boner donor T-shirt."
God, that was so creepy. Don't kiss kids.
I don't know if he kissed her.
He did. He kissed her hand. He's fucking
He
weird.
kissed her hand.
Oh,
Yeah, he
okay.
did kiss her hand, which was uncomfortable.
Don't kiss kids. Just
Surprised
stop.
he didn't like kiss her hand and just be like, "My son's a virgin."
Let me make it clear. Especially don't kiss other people's kids, but just stop kissing kids altogether. Just fucking stop.
Ben's like, "I'm surprised you didn't go full Paul Dano and just start sucking her hands."
Left to his own devices, he was going to. If his son was not there, his virgin son, there would have been an issue.
Chad dad just would have made his move.
Chad
Kula.
There it is. We both got there.
We did it.
Leave a review and a rating wherever you listen, follow, and as always, watch responsibly.